Lauren. I'm a therapist here at Mayfield Counseling, and today we're going to be talking about the 3 states of mind. The 3 states of mind are one of the core mindfulness skills from Dialectical Behavioral Therapy. I think it's important to start with an understanding of what mindfulness is, and really it's the foundation of all of the other DBT skills. Marsha Linehan, the developer of DBT, defines mindfulness as the act of consciously focusing the mind in the present moment without judgment and without attachment to the moment. It's also important to distinguish mindfulness and understand that it's not limited to things like guided imagery, meditation, relaxation. Mindfulness is really more of an umbrella term that really helps us bring our attention and intention to the present moment. So skills like guided meditation, imagery, relaxation can help move us toward that state of attention and intention. And the 3 states of mind is another one of those skills. So what are the 3 states of mind? I'm glad you asked. The 3 states are emotional mind, which is feeling, rational mind, thinking, and wise mind, which is knowing. Let's start by kind of unpacking emotional mind. So emotional mind, some people like to say that this is part of our older or more primitive brain. Our emotional mind really responds to our feelings and moods. It's reacting to our core psychological needs. When we're in this state of mind, logical thinking can become very difficult and facts can become distorted or amplified to kind of align with our mood or feelings. This can be termed as like very hot thinking, in contrast to rational mind. So rational mind is really part of our new brain, higher executive function. Sometimes when I'm thinking about these 2 states of mind, I like to think of the hand model of the brain. So if you can think of your thumb as being our older, more primitive brain, deep inside our brain, and the other 4 fingers are where the rational mind, the structure that kind of rules the rational mind. This is very cerebral, logical, helps us pay attention to observable facts. When we're in rational mind, we approach knowledge very factually, intellectually, with statistics based on our past experience. In rational mind, we tend to ignore emotion in favor of cool thinking and decision making. So as you're thinking about emotion and rational mind, given those 2 descriptions, you might already be recognizing, I tend to lean one way or the other. It's very natural for us to kind of gravitate toward one mind versus the other, and in different situations, kind of operate out of one or the other. So where do we go from here? What's that 3rd state of mind? So the 3rd state of mind is wise mind. If you think of like a Venn diagram with emotion and rational mind on either side, wise mind is in the middle. It kind of brings balance to both, but it's also greater than the sum of its parts. So it adds intuitive knowledge to the balance between emotional and rational mind. So how do we access this? Given that example, you might have recognized some times in your life where you've acted out of wise mind without even knowing. But acting out of wise mind takes a lot of practice. Kind of back to the brain example, to forge pathways between our deep inside emotion mind and our rational mind, that takes neuroplasticity, and it takes a lot of practice to build those. Right now, you may have super highways that lead you more in the direction of emotional mind or more in the direction of rational mind. And we're going to be forming new trails to kind of collaborate between those 2 with wise mind. So I'd like to end today with 3 different practices and suggestions for ways that you can start practicing wise mind in your daily life. The first one is to reflect on a time where you may have experienced wise mind already. How could you tell that you were acting in wise mind? Maybe you take this opportunity to close your eyes, think about that time, and think about how it feels in your body to reflect on acting in wise mind. Whether the situation turned out the way that you desired, what made your decision wise mind anyway? I think it can also be helpful to think of times where you're pretty sure that you didn't act in wise mind, and ask yourself some of these same questions. How can you tell it wasn't wise mind? Maybe you close your eyes. How does not acting in wise mind feel in your body? And whether the situation turned out whether you desired, how do you know that you weren't acting in wise mind? Can you identify whether you were acting in emotion or rational mind? So that's our first skill. The second skill is really to just practice writing out an emotional and rational mind thoughts and reframe them into wise mind thoughts. Sometimes in our daily lives, we might feel like we're being pulled in two different directions. You might be facing a tough situation at work, and your emotion mind is telling you that you're angry and you really want to fire off that snarky email. And your rational mind is saying, I kind of want to keep my job. So you can feel almost like you have a devil and an angel on your shoulder. Writing out your emotion, the emotional driven thought, and the rational thought, and then reframing those into a wise mind thought can be a really helpful way to kind of get those out on paper and look at them with a little bit more perspective. As you do that reframe, I would encourage you to pay attention to your intuition and focus on validating both the feelings and the facts in that process. So for our last skill, we're just going to close out with this one. I would invite you to close your eyes if it feels safe to do so. And if not, remember that you can softly gaze on any part of the room. And if you ever want to open your eyes in this exercise, please do so. Closing our eyes can make it a little easier for us to connect with wise mind. So to start out, I would ask you to bring your mind to an area of your life that you want to start practicing wise mind in. This could be something that you want to do or something that you don't want to do. It could be an opinion you have or something that you're doing right now. Focus your mind on your breath. Notice your breathing coming in and going out as you breathe naturally. On your next inhale, ask yourself, is this wise mind? And on your next exhale, listen for the answer. Try to keep emotional and rational mind from jumping in really quickly with an answer. Try to just be still and listen without judgment. Keep asking yourself, is this wise mind, with each breath in, and listening with each breath out. See if an answer comes to you. If not, perhaps there's no right answer right now. Or maybe you're too ambivalent to know the answer at this time. You can always come back to this practice and the other exercises we talked today. Thanks for joining me.